Shalom, shalom, shalom. We're back with another video. So before I get started, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kahak Wadash, to the elder apostles and bishop of Great Millstone, who rule well, who I learn from daily. I'd like to get double honor. Shalom to the 144,000, to the 1/3, to the elect. Shalom. Here with a video I'm going to call You're Still in Captivity, so this is not your arrest. And got an article here that talked about how this railroad company want to take land from these so-called black family, and the judge has ruled in their favor that they can do it. So we're going to jump into that article. Black family continues to fight to keep land despite court ruling. Railroad can take it. Now, if it's their land, I don't see how they can rule somebody can take their land supposedly. But this here should show really anyone that you own nothing here. You literally own nothing here, especially you Jakes. Because if it's their land, how can they just come take it? How can a judge just pass a ruling and say, yeah, they can get it? It's mind-boggling how people think they have rights here. And every day, those same rights they think they have get overturned. Think they got freedom of speech? Nope. Think they got freedom bear arms? Nope. None of these rights and amendments was made for you so-called Latino, Negroes, and Native Americans, because you was in captivity when they made these laws. But Jake continued to think that they have these rights that they don't have. That's why they keep getting played like this. All right, primarily so-called black family in Sparta, Georgia. That's funny considering the true Spartan was Jake themselves. Continue to fight to keep their land after a judge ruled that a railroad company could take it. Although Blaine and Diana Smith refused to sell their land, a Georgia Superior Court judge ruled on February 4th that Sandersonville Railroad could seize 11 acres to develop tracks running through the area. Prior to this ruling, the Smith had fought against Sandersonville plan for years. So this is not even a new fight. This is something that's been going on for a while. Sandersonville Railroad, a white-owned company, of course, has planned to build a 4.5-mile rail spur through the historically black town of Sparta. Yeah, they couldn't build it nowhere else but through that black town, huh? There's no other way. Y'all had to come through there. Like I said, this should show these Jakes you're still in captivity. Cause did they build it through any white town, so-called white town? Did they have to suffer through that? The company inherited eminent domain to proceed with acquiring the land so long as the original owners are justly compensated. The Smith, however, refused to sell. Of course, it's their land. If they so-called own it, man, I don't have to sell it to you. I don't have to do nothing. You just gonna have to find another way around. But like I said, we're still slaves here. We was never free. Because you break down that word emancipation, you go into it. I mean, the ownership was just given over. We had to fight to keep the land. It always somebody coming to trying to bamboozle you out of it. Matter of fact, let's look up this word bamboozle. To fool, to cheat someone. And who has done the biggest bamboozling in world history? The so-called white man, Esau Edom. That was the reason they had that nickname White Devil by most of the world. And you know, you go into that word devil, it means deceiver. It also goes into the scripture, uh, roughly, roughly paraphrasing, the wicked are born speaking lies. So all they do is know how to lie. All treaties they ever had, they always went back on. So I can understand when she said it's always somebody coming to bamboozle. It's always some pale-faced creature. All right. Blaine told Capital B News. There's people trying to come out and hunt on it, trespass on it. It's going to be easier for them to do that if we put a railroad through the middle of it. You ask me what things better bother me about it? I mean, everything bothers me about it, and it should, man. If this is mine, how can they just come take it? And like he said, people come trespass on it, hunt on it. We know who that is. We know what people he talking about. But Jake got to realize, man, you still in captivity. Everything that bothers you about what's going on, they can do it. In fact, the family inherited 600 acres from their grandfather in the 1920s. Damn, wonder how he got that. Wonder how Esau let that slide up under the table. Staying within their ownership of the land, fed livestock, grew crop, and also housed generations of Smith. Yeah, I can see why they don't want that. Y'all doing too much for their life. Independent Jake is a dangerous Jake to them. Remember, one of the curses that we was said that we were gonna suffer through, the one of all things. We're going to go to Esau for the one of all things. So you know, they know about it. So they be damned they're gonna just let Jake have 600 acres without getting their hand on it. Cause land is wealth, and they got 600 acres of it. However, the judge upheld that previous decision by Georgia Public Service Commission, affirming that public necessity of the railroad spur. Although it would be cutting through land where Blaine plant trees and potential for the damage, the track would connect industries and open channels of trade through the middle of Georgia. You would think Georgia was split into two different whole land masses and they needed to cut through there just to have a way to get goods back and forth. Don't they got the highways? Don't they got interstate? That what trucking companies for. But it's a necessity. It's mandatory that they cut through these people's land with this railroad. Come on, man. You got to be kidding me, bro. The Smiths refused to back down for the sale to their place. However, Sandersonville representative also offered to re-engage in discussion about how the spur could benefit the landowners. We understand some of the property owned by the Smith family is special to them. Some, they talking about all of it, man. That's their property. They didn't say some is special to them. This is how you know Esau getting ready to go into lies. When he start off with a half truth. Given their heritage, and we regret that they may be felt that our initial offer based on independent appraisals were not adequate, said Benjamin Tarbutton III, president of Sandersonville Railroad. We will welcome the opportunity to re-engage in meaningful conversation about how both the landowner and Hancock County could benefit from the Hanson Spur. What it says in what's that? Ciroc, never trust thy enemy. You know these people are coming after your land. You know they'll try to get you in litigation to where whatever look piece of land they got, they'll damn near take it all. So you can't trust your enemy, as the scriptures say. For as sure as iron rusted, so does his wickedness. So you know they offering a proposal is not gonna be something to help support these so-called black people. It's not gonna be anything good for them because they never do anything good for us. Despite their proposal effort, the justice does not impress the Smith. Smart thinking. We're going to fight till we can't fight anymore, Dinah said. I don't want to leave any stone unturned. My grandmother used to say, no stone unturned, so keep unturning and unturning. Represented by the Institute of Justice, the family hoped to appeal the decision with the Georgia Supreme Court. And then they're not gonna overturn it. They'll run out of money before that happens. The fact that the Georgia Supreme Court ruled with that company in the first place let you know that they're already in that company pockets. I mean, that's why they're doing this. So it's a fruitless battle. So let's go ahead and get into these scriptures. This is the book of Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment according to all the iniquities of our father, which departed from Yahweh our power. And guess what you seeing here? That's what these so-called Jakes gotta Salaki. That's what Jake gotta understand. You're still in captivity. You don't own nothing here, man. You still a slave, so they do you like this because they know you're a slave. But Jakes, they don't know. They think they're equal to these people till stuff like this come up. And they're gonna slowly destroy them. They're gonna push them to a point to where they're not gonna have any money to fight. And they're gonna have to sell all that land anyway. Because this is what Esau Edom do. They're pushing that family of Jakes into a corner to where they're fighting for this land and they don't know, man, you never even owned it. I can see them continue to fighting and the judge ruling that railroad company can take even more of the land. Man, this is nothing new. It's time to wake up, Jake. This place here is not for us. It never been for us. It was always a place of punishment. Now look at you. You think you got some land and you own it, got left to your grandfather 600 acres, and they just really came through and bullied you up out that land. Try to pay for it first and see that didn't work, and they went and paid the Georgia Supreme Court to start taking it from you. And they're gonna do it little by little. Why? Because you were slaves. And we know back then slaves weren't meant to have land. So that's why it was just so easy for them to pass a ruling that they can take it. But like I said, this place is not for us. Which is gonna lead me here. Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, and it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. This place is not our rest. This is not where we're gonna hang our hat and build. This is not the land that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has given us. So trying to fight for land that's not even yours in a place where you still in captivity is crazy work, man. But Jake believing the lie that this place is equal and that these people will give them justice and they would be able to get their land back, you would never get their land back, man. The fact that these people was able to take you to court behind your own land, then win a judgment on that, it doesn't register. It doesn't click in your mind that, man, you know what? Maybe we not as free as we thought. Maybe we don't have the power we thought we had. Because if it's mine and somebody come take it or somebody give it to you, how you gonna give somebody else my stuff? When I said no, you can't come into another man's house and let's say take his cup of sugar without him saying so. And just because somebody else outside the house said, yeah, man, go get it. You good. How is that even possible? But here in Babylon, considering Jake don't realize they're still a slave, they don't understand that they can do this to you. You're still property yourself. So we know slave was property. So I'm really surprised that they didn't get him at least 100 of them acres, them 600 acres that was inherited from his grandfather. Matter of fact, let's go into this word rest.
Strong's H 4496. Menucha.
Menucha. Feminine of H 4495. Repose or adverbially, peacefully, figuratively, consolation, specifically, matrimony, hence, concretely, a bold, comfortable, ease, quiet, rest, resting place, still. Biblical outline usage, a resting place, resting place, rest, quietness. See, this place is not no resting place for us. It's not, we don't have quietness here. So trying to fight Esau, Edom in his land that he took over is a fruitless act. They're gonna win. They're gonna get more of that land and they're gonna build their railroad. There's nothing you Jake can do about it. Because y'all don't realize you're slaves here in this place. Now, when Yahweh Ba'ashim and Hawashai come back to get us, we'll be taken to our own land. To where we'll have rest and quietness. To where no one will take what we own. Where we will have the power to defend ourselves. Matter of fact, just like we're slaves here, the other nation would be slave there. We would take all them slaves as slaves. We're going to go get that. Matter of fact, this is Isaiah 1 and verse, this is Isaiah 14 verse 1 and 2. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. See? We're not in our own land. This is not the land that Yahweh Ba'ashim and Hawashai gave our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So this place is not our rest. And the strangers shall join with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. That's the Israelite foreigner. Those are the Israelite among the heathen that look like the heathen. Once they find out they're Israelites and they come from a great stock, man, they're gonna cleave unto the house of Israel, into the main body. And the people, now this is not talking about the strangers, but the other nation. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaid. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. See, we're going to rule over these people who made these unjust laws that put us in this situation. To where, guess what? You don't have to worry about them ever taking your land again. Whatever amount of land that Yahweh Bashim and Hawashai allotted you and your descendant, that's going to be yours forever. No one is ever going to take it. We won't have to go through this kind of embarrassment when we got to fight for land that supposedly for to be ours. We will no longer be slaves to these people who make these unrighteous decrees, these unjust laws, these unjust rulers, and take everything that we have. They're going to be our slave. So it's going to be a lot of get back on that, man. I'm going to go here, Ezekiel 37, 25 and 26. I'm going to go a little bit more into when we dwell in our own land. And they shall dwell in the land that I given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children, forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. See? No one is going to be able to take the land from us. We're going to be able to dwell in our lands forever and ever. That includes generations after generation after generation. We're not going to have to worry about being persecuted or our land being taken or we being killed for our land just so they can take it. Any of those things that we go through here in Babylon. We will own our land forever and ever. This is not me saying. This is what Yahweh Bashim Hawashai has said. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them, and it shall be an everlasting covenant with them. See? We're going to be at peace. We're going to be at rest. And I will place them and multiply them, and I will set my sanctuary in the midst of them for evidence. So the Yahweh Bashim Hawashai is going to be there with us, man. We're going to be at rest, at peace. Finally be able to let down our hair as that saying goes. Finally be at rest. We ain't gonna have to wake up 6, 5, 4 o'clock in the morning and run to a job to barely live, to see our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren grow up. When you just exhausted every day, where it seems like 24 hours, it seems like 5 hours, you only get 2 hours to actually do something. We don't have to worry about none of that, man, because we're going to be at rest. That's why it's best not even trying to fight these people in this land. But this place ain't our rest. We're still slaves here. So, man, I'm in and out here. Micah verse 1 and 2 in the Good News translation, the GNT. And the heading read, the fate of those who oppress the poor. As we've seen, they're going to go into captivity. Those who oppress the poor, Yahweh Bashim outside people. How terrible it will be for those who lie awake and plan evil. When morning comes, as soon as they had a chance, they do the evil they are planning. So it's going to be terrible for them who planned this wickedness against y'all and took that land that supposedly was y'all land for generations. When they want fields, they seize them. When they want houses, they take them. No one family or property is safe. And we just seen that, man. Them people property ain't safe. And then they're gonna come after the rest of that land. This is not over by a long shot. That's why they try to lie and say, well, we can re-talk about starting up another how shall I put it? Another deal. They wanted to talk about another deal. Cause they're letting you know that they haven't given up on the rest of getting their land. They want the rest of their land. And more than likely, they're going to have the courts come through and be able to take the rest of it from you. Cause this place is not our rest. This is not our land. So we got to understand there's no point in fighting these people in a place that they rule over. But man, that's all I had on that. Shalom.